Hi, it's Jen with GoCollect and another weekly recap. We have 5 segments for you this week. Segments in TV and movie comic speculation, character speculation, comic collecting on Instagram, Bronze Age speculation, and Modern Age speculation. Let's get started. Starting with the Sinister Six. Are the Sinister Six back on the table for a movie? They could be, and this is why. Vulture was shown in a cameo in the Morbius trailer, and that could affect 2 of the most popular Sinister Six books on the market, which are The Amazing Spider-Man Annual No. 1 and No. 6. The Amazing Spider-Man Annual No. 1 was the first appearance of the Sinister Six, with its sales prices fairly flat until late 2013, when Sony made the announcement of a Sinister Six movie in development. Ever since then, prices have gone up. There was a notable peak in 2015, followed by a decline until early 2017. From the January 2017 lows, sales prices for Amazing Spider-Man Annual No. 1 have doubled in just 3 years. The Amazing Spider-Man Annual No. 6 contains a reprint of the Sinister Six story from the Amazing Spider-Man Annual No. 1. The market for this book is substantially lower than Amazing Spider-Man Annual No. 1 and almost 100 times cheaper. We will be keeping our eyes on this one. The Young Avengers are coming to the MCU sooner or later, which means if you haven't, you might want to pick up a copy of Young Avengers No. 1. Kevin Feige gave the issue a boost when he said he hoped to bring the Young Avengers team to live action. At the moment, a standard edition graded at 9.8 is averaging close to $200, but don't expect it to stay that cheap for long. WandaVision is shaping up to be a must-watch for MCU fans. I agree, I'm very excited for that. You can expect to see connections to the Young Avengers in the show. Is the superhero genre leading into a more horror movie type of feel? There's been a lot of speculations on that lately. Aliens can be scary, and one blogger would love to see The Brood in the MCU. The Marvel Universe is filled with a variety of alien creatures and civilized beings. One of the more treacherous races is the Brood, a hive of parasitic, bug-like beings. The Brood were introduced in X-Men No. 155 in 1982. Sales of X-Men No. 155 have been steady when copies appear on the market. Fair market value currently sits at $120 for a 9.8 graded copy. The census is extremely loaded at the high end, so trying to find value in a newsstand copy may be the best way to maximize the profitability of this book. Is there another alien race you hope makes an appearance in the MCU? Are the X-Men a guarantee in the MCU? Let us know in the comments. Disney Plus has really affected prices of comics, and it doesn't look like there's an end in sight. Because of the rumors swirling around the Hulkling, one blogger speculates that Young Avengers No. 10 and No. 12 and Astonishing X-Men No. 6 will see big gains. Young Avengers No. 10 is within reach for most collectors. A graded 9.8 hasn't sold online since last September, and went for $50. If you want to go even cheaper, look at the 9.6, which sold for $31 last month. A copy of Young Avengers No. 12 most recently sold for $75 in December. Astonishing X-Men No. 6 can also be purchased fairly cheap as well. In 2018, this was a cheap comic with a 9.8 averaging just $28 over 4 sales. Last year, the fair market value bumped to $65, but the past 90 days has seen its fair market value push to $80. Let us know if you've gotten your hands on one of these books lately. Segment 2, Character Speculation. For the last couple of weeks, the Hulk has been a hot topic on the blog, and this week is no different. These higher number issues of Incredible Hulk are on the rise and may have been flying under the radar. The Incredible Hulk number 212, in this issue, the corporation sends an assassin after Jim Wilson. Sales for CGC 9.8 and 9.6 copies of the Incredible Hulk number 212 represents the top 19.8% and 51.6% of the census. Over the last 7 years, both grades have been trending upwards. The Incredible Hulk number 228 marks the first appearance of psychiatrist Carla Sulfin as the new Moonstone. While this book is the first Dr. Stofan as Moonstone, her first appearance was actually a few years earlier in Captain America number 192. Sales data for this book in grades 9.8 and 9.6 are in the top 20.8% and 49.2% of the census. Overall, this book appears to be a good addition for a long-term investment. The Incredible Hulk number 234 contains Wendell Vaughn's name change from Marvel Man to Quasar, which also marks the first appearance of the Quasar alias. Compared to the two other Hulk books I mentioned, the market for The Incredible Hulk number 234 has both a substantially higher sales volume and higher market value at similar grades. This week, Craven was talked about on the blog. Where should a Craven collector focus, particularly as it pertains to Spider-Man? Let's take a look. Amazing Spider-Man number 15 was cited as one of the Craven keys you should collect. This book is Craven's first appearance, although it is a very pricey key. A CGC 9.0 sold over the summer for $6,000. Amazing Spider-Man number 48 and number 49 were also mentioned as Craven comics to own. The stories in these issues are intriguing, and you can read more about that on the blog. The key takeaway here is that these two books are incredibly affordable right now. There have been multiple sales of number 48 and a CGC 9.6 for under $1,000 in the past 2 years, and copies of the 8.0 at less than $200. The three most expensive sales of a CGC 9.6 in the last 8 years have all been recorded in the last 9 months, averaging $1,475. Let us know what other Craven books you're hunting. Now, on to more Hulk speculation, this time Hulk number 449. At the moment, prices for Hulk number 449 are gradually on their way up, but they aren't out of reach just yet. 2 years ago, the graded 9.8 averaged just under $200. However, the most recent sale on January 20th was for $290. Although that's only $5 over the current fair market value, it could be a sign that this comic is about to pass the $300 fair market value mark. Stay tuned for future blogs to see what happens with Hulk number 449. Is it a good time to invest in Anti-Venom? This week we took a look at the current state of the market for the various prints of Anti-Venom's first appearance book. Amazing Spider-Man number 569. This book was released in 2008, but it took 6 years for graded copies to start showing up. Sales prices peaked in 2018 with a high of $265. Since then, they have been on a downward trend. The second printing and the 80 Granov variant have a much higher position on the market. The fair market value of the second printing at a CGC 9.8 currently sits at $375. The market for the second printing peaked in 2018 with a high of $640. It has been in a free fall ever since. It sold at auction for $387 in November 2019. Of the three Amazing Spider-Man number 569 prints, the most ubiquitous one on the market is the Granov variant. Its sales volume is nearly double the combined volumes of the main print and second printing. Amazing Spider-Man number 570. This book has seen very low sales volume, and the calculated fair market value of the CGC 9.8 is currently $75. Despite this, CGC 9.8 slabs sell as high as $150, often enough that the overall market trend of this book is oddly better than the above three prints of Amazing Spider-Man number 569. Have you heard of Miracle Man? Marvel has been dropping hints that new stories may be coming for the character, which should send key back issues soaring. For a brief background on Miracle Man, check out the blog Miracle Man, a postmodern Marvel on blog.gocollect.com. Marvel is clearly dropping hints that new things are coming for this character. When this happens, several back issues could take off in value. One of those books that could see gains is Warrior number 1. This issue included the first appearance of another Moore character, V for Vendetta. This book goes for around $60 raw. Other Miracle Man books that could increase in value are Miracle Man number 1 and Miracle Man number 15. Issue number 1 can be found for around $10. Issue number 15 is the second shortest print run in the series at less than 40,000 copies. The issue in the series with the shortest run is Miracle Man number 24 and goes for over $100 in high grades. The last comic that could see gains, if the Miracle Man rumors are true, is Miracle Man number 12, the Adam Hughes variant. There are only 35 copies of this on GoCollect, so it could be hard to track down. Segment 3, Comic Collecting on Instagram. Did you know there is a whole economy and ecosystem revolving around comic books on Instagram? Collectors and sellers are showcasing their collections, offering books for sale, asking for advice, and tracking their favorite genres and characters all on Instagram. Here are some good things that have come out of comic collectors and sellers connecting on Instagram. Making friends with fellow comic collectors in your area. You can find just about anything with regard to comic collecting on Instagram. Instagram makes it easy to directly communicate, unlike other platforms. Most importantly is the community feel. Our blogger cites an example where a community member passed away and their followers organized a sale with the proceeds going to the affected family. It's pretty sweet. However, here are some of the bad things from comic collecting on Instagram. Repetition. When a new movie drops or something significant happens in the comic world, you can bet that you will see post after post of the same thing for several days. Deregulation. All transactions are self-policed. If someone doesn't pay, you are not protected. If the post office screws up and routes your package somewhere else, you have to figure that out on your own. And here is the ugly side of comic collecting on Instagram. Scammers and collusion happen on Instagram. People blatantly rip off pictures from other sites and try to act as if they own that book. Here's a tip. If you do comic business on Instagram, make sure you follow user @IG_comic_sheriff. That's IG_comic_sheriff. They are an independent account whose mission is to sleuth out and expose scammers on the app, and they do a fantastic job. On their account, they link to a spreadsheet showing their investigations and the results. If you're going to use Instagram for comic collecting, be vigilant, and if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Segment 4, Bronze Age Speculation. This week on the blog, one author speculated whether after years of market stagnation, is 1977 Star Wars #1 showing signs of life? It was noted that in January of this year, 10 copies of Star Wars #1 traded hands online, 4 of which showed an increase in fair market value. This was once a coveted issue, but over the years, interest has dwindled. For 2 years now, virtually every grade has consistently lost value. The fair market values are consistently going down. However, the 9.8, 8.5, 7.0, and 6.5 all showed 90-day fair market value gains compared to their 12-month averages. It's great to see signs of life in this staple of any good Bronze Age collection. The sales volume will only increase as prices continue coming back to normal. Segment 5, Modern Age Speculation. J.J. Abrams has apparently signed with Warner Brothers and will be making the next Justice League Dark movie. This, as you know, will more than likely increase values of this modern age comic. I'm excited because Warner Brothers has a habit of turning around shows and stuff. Currently long term for Justice League Dark #1, a grade 9.8 sold for $139 on June 25th, 2019, which returned negative 8.2%. But a grade 9.6 sold for $71 on October 30th, 2019, which returned positive 7.4%. There are currently no sales for this comic in 2020, but we can probably expect to see some now within movie news. And that's it for this week's recap. We hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend.